This guy has now completely scrubbed his YouTube channel. He had hundreds of uploads, hundreds of millions of views. I mean, if anything says that he's guilty to me, it would be this, scrubbing his entire existence off the internet in the matter of 24 hours thing.
Allegations against Cyrus have come out, and I'm investigating them. Earlier, he uploaded a now-deleted 3-minute video confessing to mentally abusing girls on Discord. But more damning evidence has been leaked of him confessing to messaging a 12-year-old when he was 16. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Tom Dark channel. I'm your host, Tom Dark, and today we will be talking about another YouTuber accused of, being a complete freak. Color me shocked. So, it's been too long since a YouTube commentary guy turned out to be some kind of scumbag, abusive type, and I guess it's just about that time that we had another one. Or is it? Well, that's what we'll be finding out today, I guess, or trying to at least. But I think first we need to go way back to the beginning, okay? I swear this isn't to pad out the video, okay? This is relevant, okay? This is all relevant information. Bear with me here. Cyrus is a commentary YouTuber with 1 million subscribers. He does, or did, the typical stuff that you would expect from a classic 2016 commentary channel, like using gameplay footage as filler. Most of the time it was Counter-Strike Surf gameplay, just like Leafy is here, and then talking trash about whatever cringy child of the week they could decide to pick on. And, it wasn't anything super amazing in terms of content, but it was pretty much what you would expect, and there was definitely a market for it. I mean, he was certainly successful. He had a few million subscribers. And Cyrus essentially blew up his channel right after Leafy left YouTube. So in 2017 and 2018, he really started to hit his stride at the same time that other channels like Benji did. All of these guys essentially saw a big gap in the market where they could succeed because the audience that used to watch Leafy now had nothing to watch, because Calvin had left to speed in his C63 AMG and smash it into innocent bystanders. So now that Leafy had taken up a career of destroying $70,000 vehicles for fun, Cyrus and Benji came onto the scene to take over. And what's especially funny about these kids is that they were Leafy fans themselves, and not like older Leafy fans or anything like that. They were like 14 years old when they got famous on YouTube. And I don't mean kind of famous or somewhat popular, like when I was 15 years old, I had 50,000 subscribers and I thought I was hot. No, these kiddos had 1 million subscribers at the age of 14 years old. And it wasn't a sort of gradual blow up either. It just kind of happened overnight because Leafy's old audience found them. And their videos overnight went from getting like 300 views to getting 300,000 to getting 1 million views on every single video. And to give them some credit, I mean, they weren't total Leafy clones. I mean, they did have sort of their own personality to an extent, at least. But at the end of the day, the content was not anything special. And it didn't have to be because they were just kind of filling that void that people wanted at the time. Cyberbullying videos for fun. And that's what they were, and they did a decent job of it, especially for people that had, barely even started high school, right? And I've talked about these channels in other videos of mine on both of my YouTube channels because of just how influential they were. Perhaps as one demographic aged out of monetized cyberbullying, another aged in. This created a market for people like those mentioned prior, as well as Benji and Cyrus to do exactly the same. At the time they were succeeding on YouTube, really blowing up, I kind of hated them. In fact, I made a video on this very channel, where I mocked them for their poor attempts at humor and repetitive videos. Now, when you're young and you become famous, there are a lot of things that can happen, right? There are a lot of things that can go down. Usually, negative things happen, to be honest with you. I mean, sure, you get money and fame, but human beings, frankly, aren't supposed to be famous, and we're also not supposed to be rich or anything like that, especially when you're young. Our brains are just not hardwired to receive that much attention and admiration at once from who knows how many people, right? We're actually made to know, like, 20 people in our entire lifetime. Because that's how we were when we were like hunter-gatherers or something. Now people know like 5,000 individuals over the course of their entire life because they make all of their connections through Discord and Grindr or whatever else. Yik Yak, okay? They make all their friends on Yik Yak. And it appears that Cyrus didn't really know how to handle that fame because he would basically use members of his audience to validate himself sexually. Now, I'm of the opinion that this wouldn't really matter if the people he was talking to could consent or were close to him in age, enough that if they dated in real life, it wouldn't be weird. Like if an 18-year-old viewer is a fan of an 18-year-old content creator and they decide to sext or something, I don't really care. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know a lot of people will talk about the power dynamic, but frankly, I believe that power dynamics exist in every relationship, and there's only an issue if that power dynamic is being abused explicitly to hurt the person who's not in power, right? And obviously that's always the case when there's a significant age gap. And the reason why Cyrus is catching so much flack right now with even his former friends, calling him a creep to hundreds of thousands of people, is because he supposedly messaged a 12-year-old inappropriately when he was 16 years old, as well as a 15-year-old when he was 19. And I do say supposedly because, firstly, these are allegations, okay? Even the supposed admission of guilt from him doesn't totally confirm too much to me. But secondly, like, I just don't know all of the details here. All we have are some screenshots and, like, 2 recordings of him talking, and I really would like to see a little more before I definitively say, you know, one way or another. And the other part of that is, like, I don't want to get sued, because what if somehow, you know, there's some way he can wiggle out of this legally, right? I don't want to be receiving a cease and desist in my email. So, yeah. These are allegations, okay? Let's keep it that way, boys and girls. Alleged. The way all of this started was that Cyrus uploaded a video to his YouTube channel, like I said, with, I think, 2 million subscribers, on the 24th of January, titled, "I Hurt a Lot of People." And in this video, which is just a black screen with him talking over it, he basically says that he spent a lot of time talking to e-girls online, and I guess, you know, sending them as or whatever for validation. And he says that he wants to stop because he was playing all of these girls at once and e-cheating or whatever, right?
I'm going to start this by being as blunt as I can. I've been f***ing up for a really long time, and I've been hurting a lot of people, especially a lot of women on the internet, and I just can't keep going on receiving all this positive support and pretending like everything is fine, daily uploading like I'm not f***ing up every day. I just want to be completely honest with you guys, as I've been being honest with all of the girls that I had basically led on and hurt for so long. I've grown up on the internet for just about my entire life, and every single phase I've gone through, every single negative part of me that I've gone through, other people have had to experience on here. And it's a lot easier to mask in a 10-minute video than it is with people that I talk to every single day of my life. So a lot of you have absolutely no clue on what I'm about to say, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it, man. For the last, I'm not even sure how many years that I've been on the internet, since I was probably around 15, 14, I've been lying to a lot of females and flirting with a lot of females, and I didn't ever understand the weight of it as it was through the internet. I thought that they would just talk to guys in real life, or that it wouldn't really affect them, but it does. These are real people with real feelings, and I've had to understand that these were people that really cared about me and really trusted me, and I completely broke that with so many different girls, and it's horrible. I was on the internet being a cocky, arrogant, thinking that I was just some, thinking that I was just like getting all these girls, man. But I was just hurting them. They were all thinking that they had met the one. They were all thinking that we were going to have a life together, and that just wasn't true. It has led to me hurting a lot of people, man, and some of those people even being younger than me. Some are saying that one of the girls was like 12, but I just want to go ahead and say that's not the girl's age at all. But I even heard a girl that was 3 years younger than me, and it was so f***ed, man. Like, it's so f***ed up. I can't keep getting positive support. I can't keep reading all these lovely comments. It's f***ed, man. Like, I really need to be off of the internet. I really need to go get help, and I need to stop hurting people. So that's what I'm going to be doing as of today, everybody. You will not see me around for a good long while, as I really want to get help. I want to stop lying to people, and I want to stop hurting people. I can never undo any of the things that I've ever done to anybody. I'm so f***ing sorry. I'm so sorry to anybody that ever felt like we'd have a life or a future together. I f***ed up. I should have never led you on. I should have never lied. I should have never even flirted with you in the first place. It was stupid.
And he also made a community post saying, "Thank you to those of you who watched the video I posted this morning opening up about my actions, but please stop defending me and giving me the benefits of the doubt. I'm going to be gone for a while, so I can really change and hold myself accountable. I don't plan to ever lead a girl on again. I'm so sorry to everyone I've hurt, seriously." So I was actually on live stream when this came out, and my initial reaction was kind of just, you know, I guess uninterested, like I didn't care. And the reason why is because when a YouTuber gets caught cheating or being like a sex addict, I generally just don't care. Like, it does not bother me, because while cheating or you know, being disloyal is bad, if it doesn't involve me, then I just consider it not my business. I don't watch YouTubers because I'm like a fan of their personal lives or anything like that. I try not to be so blatantly parasocial. I watch them for their content, okay? I watch them for the quality of the videos they put out. So when I find out that some YouTuber cheated on their girlfriend, I just don't care. So it didn't make sense to me why he was even making this video. Like, why would you need to apologize to your audience for playing like girls on Discord or something? Like, you're not Like, you just make videos for them, you know what I mean? You're not all of your audience. But now it kind of appears to me that he was sort of trying to get out ahead of the allegations that were going to come out, and maybe he thought the more extreme stuff would never be released if he made this video, or maybe people wouldn't care about it if he apologized preemptively, but it certainly did come out. So the same day as this video, possibly because they saw it and then wanted to like elaborate further on the allegations, one girl came out on TikTok and made a video that went relatively viral on the platform, and I'll just read out the text that she has on screen here. "I don't care, I'll say his name now since everyone from his little Discord crew is here to hate on me. Cyrus is an abusive weirdo piece of shit who needs some serious help. I've got all his exes in my DMs telling me they experienced the same as me. If you're one of his e-girls here to hate on me, run." And this allegation doesn't say much specifically other than that he's abusive. And abuse is one of those buzzwords that just kind of gets thrown out there, you know, all the time online. So it's kind of hard to make heads or tails of what, if anything, the allegations are at this point. And so when I saw this, I was a little skeptical. I was like, what do they mean by abusive, right? But then we had some other screenshots leak, and these involve some text messages, and this is sort of where people started applying more culpability to Cyrus himself, because it looks like here he's sort of confessing to something almost. "There's nothing you can ever say to make this right. A child, a f***ing child. You are a f***ing file. I can't even believe I ever defended you." And Cyrus responds, I assume this is Cyrus, by saying, "I'm so sorry, man, holy shit." Then she says, "I sincerely hope you get everything you deserve." And he goes on to say, "I promise I do too, man. I'm so sorry you ever defended me for so long." And messages like this seem to indicate that there was some kind of inappropriate age gap going on. And what's especially weird to me is that when she throws the P word out there as an accusation privately to him, he doesn't even deny it, he just accepts it seemingly. Now, is Cyrus an actual pedophile? I would say, based on what I've seen, probably not, and I will kind of explain why later, but it is strange to me that in these messages, he seems to be open to the idea that that could even be the case, right? Like, when she explicitly says that, he seems to be just, like, open to that idea. He's like, yep, well, I guess I am. But this is just a small snippet of a larger conversation, and, you know, contextless, obviously, it looks really bad, and with context, it would still be bad, of course, but I do wish I knew what specifically they were talking about, and unfortunately, we just don't, because we don't have, like, this entire conversation leaked for us, you know, unfortunately. And then another video came out from someone showing a recording of Cyrus talking to them about what he did or didn't do, and I'm going to play that right now in full. Feel free to skip it if you don't want to hear what he says, but there is a lot here that I don't really want to exclude or leave out, so I'm going to play that recording right now.
But I didn't know how to talk to you and confront everything. And I want to try to right now. Like, specifically the I don't know, I'm just going to say Cherry, I guess. I've never really called her that, but the Cherry stuff. I remember the day it happened, and I'm just going to tell it exactly as is. I kind of left a couple details out when I was telling Ryan earlier because I didn't want to, like, I don't know. I thought that it would come out like I was, like, what's the word? Not justifying, that's not right. It sounded like I was giving it a reason for why it happened the first time in my head, so I didn't tell him exactly. But basically, I was drunk one night. I went up to my room when I was living with my friends. I was probably, I don't really know, maybe 17 at the time. I'm really bad with time. I'm just going to say I was 19, bro, because at this point I don't care. I feel like a monster, man. Whenever I was talking to her, there had been this thing going on for a really long time where she'd, like, message me, like, really horny stuff, right? And I would do the thing on Snapchat where you slide slowly so, like, you can see the message without it, like, opening and stuff. And I remember in the beginning, I was a little uncomfortable. I was more grounded, I guess. I was just kind of like, ew. I think I told her not to do that one time or something. But this particular day, I don't know. I had seen it for, like, the billionth time, and then I acted on it. And I can't ever undo that, man. I had no reason to act on it. I had no reason to have her added. I had no reason to say hello to her. There wasn't anything specific about her or something. It wasn't because of her age or anything, or because of how she looked or anything. It's just somebody showed me that they really, like, wanted to do with me. And I was like, wow, somebody wants to do with me. And then it happened that first time, right? And then the next day, I felt a bunch of guilt. And I was like, dude, I was really fucked up last night. Like, can we forget that happened? And then, God, I don't want to go into the conversational specifics, but I'm going to try to. It went something along the lines of that. And then she was like, so you didn't like it? I was like, well, I did, but it's wrong. And I was never able to put in the words why it's wrong, even though it's obvious. I'm older than her. I'm too old for her at this age. It's kind of weird. It's pretty weird. I don't know. It wasn't ever about her age, though, to me. That's just what made me feel so wrong about it in the beginning. And I couldn't say that. I don't know why I didn't.
And this video was what was really the nail in the coffin for most people out here. Because here he basically says, oh, well, I messaged someone who was too young for me. I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And it was wrong, and I regret it, but I have a pattern of doing this, and it needs to stop. So he seemed pretty aware of the fact that he was doing some sort of sussy stuff, for lack of a better word, but apparently was unwilling to change for the time being. The amount of people he has hurt and ruined because he had a little bit of fame. I've known him since I was 14 years old, and he has never changed. I hope everyone that happens to cross paths with this actual gets the healing they deserve. I'll get into more details in DMs to anyone that's related to the situation. He emotionally abused the fuck out of me when I was 15. He allegedly groomed a 13-year-old. He is allegedly in possession of a ton of CP from all his female fans he manipulates into thinking they are friends until they send nudes and he drops them. He allegedly cheated on his ex 10 times with 10 different women. He wrapped me into schizophrenic delusions that he is a literal angel who made a deal with the devil for YouTube fame. He used me for when I was a naive freshman and then dumped me and told everyone I'm crazy. Ask any of his friends, that man is insane. Screw you, Cyrus. You and your whole washed up misogynistic friend group belong in straitjackets. If you see me suddenly hop off the internet for a bit, it's most definitely because the little will send you a cease and desist just like his best friend did. Also, he roleplayed as a furry in amino groups when he was 13 and sucks his thumb when he's upset. So obviously, I mean, being a furry and sucking your thumb is weird and, you know, cringe, and he should be got for that, okay? He should be owned for that. But I am curious what the first part of this message is about, claiming his best friend sent someone a cease and desist. As far as I knew, his best friend was a YouTuber named Scrubby, who as far as I know has been super tight with him for years, not only for content, but I mean, these guys are longtime friends IRL. I don't know that Scrubby sent a cease and desist. I would guess that he didn't based on everything I know about the guy, but I just haven't seen anyone talk about this screenshot, and I find it very confusing. And, you know, I definitely want to know more about that little thread of information, sending someone a cease and desist for what, right? We have another screenshot here reading, he keeps his ex in his house and constantly talks about how much he hates his life because of her and stuff. He cheated on her on more occasions than I can even count, and there has been over 30 girls that he just takes advantage of and tears down for his benefit. He never cared, and if you think he did, I'm sorry. If you're his e-girl, run. He will twist the situation like he always does, and he never actually takes accountability for anything he's ever done because he's constantly allowed to get away with it. And people are saying, well, he did it as a child and stuff like that. He did this up until 3 days ago. Don't believe anything that comes out of that guy's mouth ever. He will pull the victim card like he did with me for so many years and push me down so he could abuse the situation however he liked. He has always been heavily into child play, which has occurred to me now. When I was younger, he always asked me to do sexual stuff with him and make me look more childish, etc. He has my nudes sent to his friends that later leaked to a server with 13,000 people in it when I was 14 years old. He's always been associated with people that have been accused of P-word/SA. And here I wish there was more elaboration because I have no idea who this is supposed to be, like, in reference to. I don't know who his friends or associates are that were accused of this, accused of being pedophiles, accused of sexual assault. I really don't know. As far as I know, all of his friends that I've known of, like, you know, other YouTubers like Optimus or Scrubby or Benji are pretty clean. So I'm just sort of in the weeds on this one. Like, I don't really understand what the situation is here. Another screenshot says, I'm so glad people are finally speaking up. I was convinced everyone was crazy and lying because he told me for such a long time. You're not crazy. He was fully aware of what he was doing, and he keeps doing it because he knows he'll keep getting away with it. This isn't the first time he's talked to a minor, but 12? I don't know if that means 12 times or the first time he's talked to a 12-year-old. I don't really know. It's not at all defendable in any way. No matter what anyone says, especially him. He says he'll never get help, but he never has. And there seems to be this common thread here where Cyrus has a negative interaction with some random e-girl he met on Discord. He tells him he's going to get help or whatever, and then he never actually does, and he just does the same thing over and over again. It sounds crazy to me, but it seems as though he was actually addicted to e-sex, so to speak. which is just, I don't even know what to say about that. This is such a Zoomer affliction, man. There's nothing more Zoomer than being addicted to Discord kittens, truly, okay? There's nothing more Generation Z. I hate you all. This isn't the first time he's talked to a minor, but 12. Okay, I'm rereading this, and I think what she's saying is like, this isn't the first time he's talked to a minor, but 12 is an indefensible age. But clearly, I mean, you know, the guy gets around, so to speak. He has that riz, okay? He's got that e-girl riz. And following this, we also had some additional messages leaked. Some of them were like not safe for work messages he sent to some of these girls. And some of it was him talking about some absolutely schizo shit, which is just, I mean, I don't even know how I can explain what he said. I'll just have to really read it out loud because there's no way I can properly preface this, really. I'm not done reading everything, but I do protection spells in a really weird way. I know some people call on a higher power to protect them and summon them and make offerings with certain flowers or scents or artifacts. Personally, I do everything differently. I do everything spell related solely by myself, and I try not to rely on physical items to help me. I'd say I manifest my protection like how some manifest the opposite for themselves. You guys thought Cyrus was just a commentary YouTuber, guys, but no! As it turns out, he's actually a goddamn witch doctor, and he's casting spells on all of us. But apparently his protection spell didn't work too well this time because, you know, he left the internet and got owned, I guess. We also have messages where he sent some My Little Pony stuff, which is, I don't know, weird. And we also have whatever this is. It appears to be Cyrus with a binky in his mouth. I don't know what to make of this image, but here it is for all of you to draw your own conclusions, I guess. Maybe this has something to do with his age play kink, but, to be honest with you, I figured the other people would be the baby in the situation, not him. But apparently he is the baby, the boss baby, so to speak, okay? Cyrus is the boss baby. I mean, given everything else I've seen so far from the dude, he seems pretty f***ed in the head, to be honest with you. Not necessarily evil, but like, psychologically, there's just something very wrong with this dude. Like, why is he sucking on a binky? What's going on here, man? What's going on psychologically? I wouldn't dream of the psychological torment this guy goes through, where he feels the need to not only put a binky in his mouth and suck on it, but also take a picture of himself and send it to an e-girl on Discord, okay? Listen, a lot of people these days are talking about Riz. They're talking about how to get girls, okay? You got people giving you advice. You got Andrew Tate giving you advice. You got these lifestyle coaches and gurus, okay? They're saying, you know, how do you pick up women? How do you seduce them? Well, all you guys got to do is dress up exactly like a big baby and send them pictures of it, okay? You suck on that binky to assert dominance, mother. You suck on that binky right now. Now, the girl who seems to be the biggest deal in the whole situation is this girl named Cherry, and I guess she was one of the people he was sexting. She uploaded a video on her YouTube channel showing that they were in a call together at some point. So that at least does prove the connection between the two was there, right? Like, they did know each other.
I want to, like, ask you something, but I don't want to, like, be selfish, you know?
No, ask me. It's fine. Ask me whatever you want.
And besides this, we have screenshots of their messages and interactions, screenshots of stuff he said to her, selfies they exchanged, on and on and on and on. And as far as I'm aware, the reason why Cherry has been talked about so much is because she was 12 when they initially talked, while he was 16, and they continued talking for quite a while before all of this came out. And obviously, people find that age gap pretty objectionable, myself included, right? It's pretty fucked up. And there are also all of these like memes being made on TikTok, these meme TikToks from the comedians over there on the TikTok platform, okay, coming out about him, which are just, I don't really know what to say about them. I'll just let them speak for themselves, I guess.
You thought I was an underage girl. You're a f***ing pedophile. Hey, you know how I do it.
And if you search his name on Twitter, there's a lot of people talking about it. We have some people saying stuff like, Mini Lad, Call Me Carson, and now Cyrus, among many YouTubers, more with proven true allegations. Like, what the f***, some YouTubers? And the thing about that is, like, first of all, Carson's not a Mini Lad, I don't know a ton about, so I can't really speak to that situation, but personally, I would never mention Cyrus in the same name as actual or anything like that. People like Lion Maker or Jinbop, because those guys are actual creeps who are like attracted to children as like full-on legal adults in their 20s. But for Cyrus, that doesn't seem to be the case. In my estimation, from everything that I've heard and gathered, he was a low self-esteem, touch-starved loser who wanted to be physically and sexually validated by anyone who would do it. And if one of those people was 12 when he was 16, or 15 when he was 19, then that is undoubtedly really weird and f***ed up, and he shouldn't be messaging them. He should be criticized for that. But in my opinion, I don't think he's a pedo, right? Is that age gap uncomfortable for me and a lot of other people? Yes. Does whatever he did have a negative effect on the younger person involved? Yes, absolutely. And, you know, there's no way to justify what he did. I'm not going to try to go out here and justify it. I'm not going to say it's okay, because it's definitely not. But that being said, is he a pedophile, as in, like, someone who's exclusively attracted to children? I don't think so. It would take a lot more to convince me of that. Even, you know, with the messages we've seen, he doesn't deny being a pedo, but, you know, there are other factors that could go into it. Like, maybe he has so much self-hatred, he's convinced himself he's a I don't fucking know. In any situation, you just want to give people the benefit of the doubt as much as you can. You know, he's definitely a fucked up guy. He definitely should not have messaged people this young. He definitely needs to be criticized for it and called out, and he definitely needs help for that. Is he a probably not.
The lesser allegations people are making against him, which would include stuff like cheating, stuff of like him abusing girls, being like, you know, addicted to sexting on Discord. I can confirm all of that is definitely true, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's like the biggest monster in the world.
Just more of a creep is what I would call him personally. So where is Cyrus now? Well, we don't actually know. The day after the allegations came out, he hid every single video on his multi-million subscriber channel, and that's really it. No public statement on any of his social media, no comments, no TwitLonger, no Google Doc, nothing. He just left. Now, we are only a little over a week out since all of this began, so we don't really know if that will change. But for now, it seems like he doesn't want to deal with it at all and is deciding to just get offline, right? In the video he made at the start of everything, he did say that he wanted to leave the internet in order to get help, meaning some kind of therapy program or something.
I really need to be off of the internet. I really need to go get help, and I need to stop hurting people. So that's what I'm going to be doing as of today, everybody. You will not see me around for a good long while, as I really want to get help. I want to stop lying to people, and I want to stop hurting people.
If he does actually do that, if he actually gets help, if he actually goes to therapy, that remains to be seen. We may not even hear about it if it does happen, but I guess we'll see. Now, in any situation like this, my major question is also, you know, it's always kind of like at the end of the day, at the end of it all, once the mess is untangled, could they come back from this? Is there any redemption? Like, what he did was bad, but is there some kind of way that the public could accept him again? Well, here's my honest answer to that. If he comes back and tries to justify talking to someone with that large of an age gap, he probably would have a very hard time. But plenty of people have done it before by stating that they're some kind of furry degenerate or whatever and their age was irrelevant to them. They just wanted to send horny messages to anyone and the age didn't matter. So honestly, if he came back, would I be accepting of his answer? No. Would I be accepting of that age gap? No. You know, could he dispel the idea that he was attracted to kids? Could he convince a decent portion of the audience that he's a cool guy? Maybe. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, maybe he could. Maybe he could come back and convince his audience that he didn't do that much wrong and that he was just like a depressed, touch-starved loser. There have been other YouTubers who have done it before and they've gotten away with it. So, like, you know, we just don't know. Now, could he convince his friends? Probably not. And that will be a difficult challenge for him because every single friend that he had has seemingly disowned him in a video publicly, right? And these are friends that he's had for years, people he's known for years, people he's helped shout out, people whose careers he's helped build. And it seems like every single one of them has basically been like, "F you, dude, what you did is f***ed up, I don't want to talk to you anymore." And Poncho, someone with 1 million subscribers, is someone who actually was brought into the community by Cyrus. I believe they met in a Counter-Strike game randomly and ended up getting along, and, you know, then all of a sudden somehow the two connected and Cyrus got Poncho to make videos, he shouted him out, and then ended up blowing up his channel a little bit in the beginning, and now obviously Poncho is someone with 1 million subs, he's got his own career under his belt, and this was a common story. Cyrus would often be very generous with his audience and shout people out like Aiden Projects or Scrubby, who have all greatly benefited from those shoutouts. And now, to see this side of him, where he turned out to be this like weirdo Discord moderator who was sexting people too young for him, it just makes things way worse. It sort of paints a bad light on the relationship with him and maybe their careers in general, so, you know, they have to distance themselves immediately. And it's even strange to know that Cyrus was apparently living with a girl while messaging all of these e-girls. Like, he was dating a girl IRL, and then he was also addicted to e-sex, which is just weird. Like, why? Also, he sucks on a binky, which is also weird. I think I mentioned that already. Why did he suck on the binky? People like Optimus, who had friendships and business ties to Cyrus, were taken off guard, and they're now talking about how they feel betrayed by all of this, and, you know, I feel pretty bad for them.
For those who have been watching me for a while, you'll know that Cyrus was actually the one who shouted me out. Originally, he helped me get to where I am today, really. And it's just weird. It's weird seeing this because I never really expected him to go this far with any of this. I always knew that there was something else going on, but I just didn't know what it was. And the reason why I say that is because I would always hang out with him in real life. He wouldn't even look me in the eye. He wouldn't even say much, really. I would be cracking jokes the entire time while we're hanging out. I would just be having fun. This dude would be low energy as fuck. He was kind of a weirdo. And I would always wonder what the fuck is going on. 2 to 3 word responses when I'd give him like a full sentence of something I just want to talk about. And the strangest part of it all was when he finally decided to start talking a lot. It was about a sexual experience he had. So when I had seen the allegations go public and I had seen all these things flooding in about him, there was a part of me that said, is this really that surprising? It connects. It makes sense. And it's just disappointing. Now realizing who this guy really is and all these years of knowing him, he's just a pussy. He's just a attention seeker. He's a manipulator. He's a pervert. He's the P word, bro. I can't say the word on here, but y'all know what word I'm talking about. And lastly, I know Cyrus is going to be watching this because he is on the internet a ton, and that's practically his entire life. You fucked up. You fucked up big time. I don't think there's any forgiving for this type of activity. I think this deserves the death sentence, personally. I don't think that people texting girls who are underage deserve to be breathing. But it's fuck you, bro. I don't have any love for you. I don't respect you. I don't think you're a good person. And anybody that's saying that he's not guilty and these are just allegations, I don't know what screams I'm guilty more than deleting all your videos on your YouTube channel, completely avoiding the situation, changing your phone number. I couldn't even text him when this happened. Is practically confirmed by this point. I know he told a few people that the reason why he was dipping from the internet was because he needed to focus on school, because he was going back to school. Cap. He hated school. Pretty sure at one point while we were friends, he told me he ran away from school. I'm sorry to those who were let down. I'm extremely let down. He was my friend. Can't trust everybody.
It's just freaking sad, man. It really is. I do feel for all the people involved. Curious to see if Cyrus will come back. So far from everything I've read and heard about the guy, he seems kind of cowardly and sensitive. Kind of ironic, of course, given the content he made. Cyberbullying children, and in the end, he turned out to be like a binky-sucking, furry, My Little Pony Discord mod creep. Like literally, you could make 8 reaction commentary videos about this guy just from the DMs you have, making fun of how cringy it is, right? So it's unlikely that if there is a response, it will actually come out anytime soon. But at the same time, there's no way he left the internet entirely okay. He's way too terminally online. When he was making videos and clearly, sexting all these girls. I mean, when he had an IRL girlfriend, he was sexting these weirdos. So there's no way he's going to leave the internet entirely. Is he going to be under the Cyrus name? Probably not. He probably won't come back as Cyrus. But the idea that he's just going to be a normal guy now and live a normal life is not the case. You guys really think he's going to become like a carpenter, okay? You think he'll be clogging your toilet with your because of Taco Bell, and the plumber who comes over is Cyrus because he got his certificate or whatever, okay? He's going to be an electrician now. You're going to go to the drive-thru at McDonald's and see Cyrus working there just like a normal-ass dude. No, that's not going to happen. As far as I know, he's probably still has money saved from YouTube unless he blew through it all. So, he's probably going to ride off that for a while. He clearly cares about his creative pursuits, so he'll probably come back in no time, honestly, okay? Like I said, is he going to be using the Cyrus name? Probably not, but there's no way he's going to disappear entirely. That being said, as of the day I'm writing this, he actually deleted his YouTube channel officially, not just removed the videos, but the entire channel is now gone. The Cyrus legacy, the Cyrus days are over. It's over! It's so over. The boss baby is back. Cyrus is gone, and the era of the boss baby begins. Dude, no way the Cyrus allegations can't be real. I remember watching Cyrus when I was in middle school. He was one of my favorite YouTubers. This shit is crazy, man. Never thought in a million years this would happen. The Cyrus allegations feel unreal to me. I remember being so obsessed with his videos in middle school to the point I would need to listen to them to go to bed. Knowing everything now, I feel disgusted and sick. Cyrus will never beat the gay allegations. But will he beat the baby allegations, okay? Will Cyrus be able to beat the binky allegations? Anyhow, that about wraps up today's video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like on the video. If you didn't, be sure to leave a dislike. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the situation. This is one of those messy ones, so it'd be good to hear the community consensus. Hope you enjoyed this classic Tom Dark video. Okay, we're back. We're so back, guys. The boss baby is back. The binkies are back. The infants are back. The toddler gang is back. The Tom Darkies are back. Be sure to check out my website, turkeytom.net. Join the Discord at turkeytom.gg. Subscribe to my main channel, Turkey Tom. And follow @AnonBird on Twitter. Subscribe if you like the video. Share it with your friends. push your grandma down a flight of stairs. Just kidding, don't do that. Thanks for watching. Bye.